Thanks for choosing the news to be informed in Africa and the world. We open today's edition in Burundi, where President-elect Evariste Ndayishimiye has been sworn in today, 2 months than planned. The ceremony took place at 11 a.m. local time at the Ngoma Stadium of Gitega before the Constitutional Court and the population. Attendees were asked to arrive early to allow time for coronavirus precautions. The fast-track ceremony comes after his predecessor, Pierre Nkurunziza, died suddenly last week. In Mali, the leader of the ongoing dispute against President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta, Imam Mahmoud Dicko, has urged people to protest massively on Friday despite recent government call for an open dialogue. The influential Imam is accusing President Ibeka of ignoring tens of thousands of people who had protested, demanding he resigns. In his words, the religious leader said he doesn't listen to the people, but his time he will understand. The president has been under pressure to solve a spiraling security crisis in Mali. South Sudan's main rivals have sealed on a deal on control of the country's 10 internal states, an issue seen as the biggest threat to peace since a unity government was formed in February. President Salva Kiir and Riek Machar, a former rebel leader and now vice president, had been at odds over the allocation of states, especially rich oil states. Salva Kiir's camp will nominate governors for 6 states, including the oil-rich Unity States and Central Equatoria, which includes the capital Juba. Machar, on his part, will propose governors for 3 states, including the largest oil-producing area, the Upper Nile State, while a third signatory to the peace deal has won, the Jonglei State. Out of Africa, Beijing, the Chinese capital, has raised its alert level after 137 people tested positive in a new outbreak of the coronavirus. Hundreds of flights have been cancelled, but travelers are trying to leave while they can. The government on Wednesday raised its emergency response level to tackle the spread of new infections linked to Beijing's largest wholesale food market. Schools and universities have been shut and people have been urged not to leave the city. To rapidly contain the virus and care for patients, health workers have been dispatched from across the city to Beijing's hospital, designated as the COVID-19 Treatment Center. Judges at the Europe's top court have ruled on a case which the Hungarian government is accused of breaking EU law by restricting the financing of non-governmental organizations working with migrants and refugees. Back in 2017, the government in Budapest adopted a new law to freeze any funding to organizations of over 22,000 euros from outside Hungary, which they say could be money laundering or the financing of terrorism. The restriction was seen as targeting billionaire philanthropist George Soros and organizations like his Open Society Foundation that supports refugees in Europe. The government claims these NGOs work against the national interest. At the UN Security Council on Wednesday, 4 countries have been elected to 2-year terms in the first major vote held at the world body amid the coronavirus pandemic. India, Ireland, Mexico and Norway will be part of the council in January 1 for the rotating time period. However, a decision on who will occupy a seat representing Africa will go to a second round of voting today, as neither of the contenders, Kenya and Djibouti, captured the necessary 2/3 majority. And President Donald Trump's former national security advisor John Bolton writes in his upcoming memoir that Trump sought Chinese President Xi Jinping's help in winning re-election during a closed-door meeting in June 2019. It has now become the focal point of a new lawsuit taken up by the US against Bolton. They are hoping to halt the book publication, arguing it contains classified information that will compromise national security. An assert of his book published in the Wall Street Journal, Bolton alleges that Trump reportedly asked the Chinese leader during trade negotiations at a summit to buy more agricultural products in order to help him win farm states in the November general election. The book, The Room Where It Happened, a White House memoir, is due to be published on June 23. Story to be continued. That was the package we had for you for today. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.